Well, we've polished off week 7 of our kind of getting back into it training block, and yeah, we're getting ready for the race this week. So here's last week's recap. I didn't quite get in quite as much work as I wanted to. I didn't lift or swim at all last week, and part of that I think was because of having to shift the schedule around due to going camping this weekend. Just got back last night. Um, and my daughter was home from summer camp on Thursday, which also kind of changes just kind of what you can do in a normal day. So this is kind of a good example week of how to shift stuff around, when life happens. We still got in 36, 37 miles, something like that, almost 5 hours time on feet, which isn't bad. I'll take it for now. But we ended up shifting last week, if you remember, was down week, and we ended up cutting the long run. Last Sunday, I was completely wiped, and so I took my first off day in like 3 weeks. Monday morning, I got up to go run my 6 miles that I had scheduled. And it was really nice out, and I was like, if I'm feeling good at 6 mile mark, I'll just keep going and get the extra 4 miles in and do the 10 miles I'd planned on doing on Saturday or Sunday. And so the mileage ends up rolling over into this week. But it kind of helped work. It kind of worked out a little bit because I knew I was going to be going camping this weekend. And anytime I'm going camping with my entire extended family, just the odds of me being able to go get my long run in are lower. You know, even if there's decent places to go run, I'm doing family stuff, so I'm probably not going to spend 2 hours going for a long run. I was like, I'll just shift the long run, do it in the early part of the week, and then, kind of front load the week a little bit again. That way I won't have to try to get so many miles in the weekend while I'm camping. So yeah, it felt great. We had cloud cover, it was nice and cool. The sun kind of came out at mile 5 and I didn't really think anything about it. I ended up getting pretty decently roasted. Not too bad. It was only really like the shoulders. But yeah, it was enough to get a fairly decent sunburn. So I was dumb. Should have gone a little earlier, worn sunscreen, stayed in the shade, that kind of deal. But it was a good run. It felt amazing. Tuesday, we came around and I was going to do just an easy 4 miles at the loop on the grass, nice and flat, recover, because Wednesday morning we had speed work planned. I was like, all right, I'm only going to run 4 miles. I couldn't make myself run on the treadmill, though, to do it. So I ended up running at the loop, and I think I averaged about 7:30 pace, something like that. But it felt good. And then Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. rolls around, met up with Troy and another guy who was in town. And so we had originally planned on doing some fast 400s. But Brandon maybe? Anyway, his training plan called for doing 3 1,000-meter intervals, 5K race pace. And so we switched gears a little bit, and I was like, it'd probably be a good thing to spend a little bit of time doing it at interval pace, 5K race pace, prior to the race this week. Because I haven't really done any of that. So just kind of get comfortable at that rhythm, at that effort level, just kind of see how it goes. So we did, we warmed up, we did a set of striders, and then we did 2 400s to kind of get stuff really kicked off, get going, get the turnover rate up, everything firing. And those I hit right at 71, both of them. So they were both fast. A little faster than I wanted. I think I wanted them at, 75-ish. But, I'm not going to complain. They were consistently at 71. I'd finish and jog 50 meters, turn around, come back, and kind of pick up everybody else when we walk. Walk the 200 meters. So I was getting lots of recovery, so I could work at that really high end. And then we shifted gears into the 1K repeats, and I was thinking I was gonna try to hit those right at 320, which is 520 pace, 80 seconds a lap. One, it makes for nice easy math while you're trying to keep track of splits every 100 meters while you're going, trying to learn a new pace. And realistically, I'm not going to be running a 5K faster than that anytime soon. Pretty sure. And the first one was a 321, but then I ran a 315 and then a 317. I think that last one probably should have been. I think I was pushing a little hard. Um, that last 150 meters or so. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how the workout turned out. It was a good hard stimulus. It was good to get some actual interval work in for the first time in a little bit. And then, man, the next day my legs were trashed. Went out to do my 5 easy mile recovery run on Thursday. And yeah, my glutes and hamstrings were lit up. My quads were a little tight, were a little tight, but it was all glutes and hams, stuff I wanted to be fried after that kind of workout. And it was good. It was good. That Wednesday workout was good for me. Yeah, Friday ended up not getting a chance to get a workout in. We got up and I was scrambling to get work taken care of before leaving town to go drive to Oklahoma to go camping and packing the car and all the other stuff that comes with a weekend trip. And realistically, it probably wasn't a bad thing, given how beat up I was on Thursday and how tired I was feeling. So we got in the car Friday, drove to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and it was hot in Oklahoma on Friday. I think it was 90-something degrees when we got there to the campground, and my wife and I were sleeping in the tent, and it was horrendously hot. We didn't end up going. I ended up falling asleep probably about a quarter after 10, maybe 10:30. I know Julia didn't end up going to sleep till much later, just because she was so hot. And so I know Saturday morning I was dehydrated when I woke up, simply because it'd been so hot for so late into the night. But Saturday morning I went and ran. I had the opportunity to run some really big hills. I'm going to show you that to you right now. Started out, I was like, I'm scheduled to run 6 miles, but I didn't run yesterday. So I'll go get 6 miles in. If I'm feeling frisky, maybe I can go a little more, depending on how I'm feeling, given that I was dehydrated. And so I essentially ate a banana and filled up my water bottle and went in the morning. Needless to say, it took us a little bit to kind of get up and going, get rehydrated a little bit. I'm pretty sure I was still kind of dehydrated when I started. But you can see this is the hill 259A here in Broken Bow, and that's a long uphill. I mean, the whole hill, 2.6 to, so it was almost 2 miles up, a little bit of a downhill there in the middle, coming up over the ridge. But if you look at the elevation gain on that grade, parts of it were theoretically fairly shallow, but then there are other parts that are 11% grade. We had parts that are 7% grade. Coming back, obviously, same roads. The grade's the same. 6.5%, 7%. So yeah, there are parts 8, 9, 14%. I don't know if that's quite accurate, but that is pretty steep. It was really steep through there. But yeah, man, that was a big hill. And so effort-wise, it kind of ended up turning into a little bit of a progression run. I didn't realize I was running quite this hard. Because, my watch said I was going really slow, much slower. My instantaneous readings on my watch for pace were slower than this. And I'm going to chalk that up to being in the hills and the trees and that kind of thing and just not having a good, a good clear path to the satellite. But yeah, we ended up, kind of working a little harder than I meant to. And so coming back down the hill, I was like, I guess I'm just going to turn this into a progression run. You see where it kind of turned around right there. I started back up the hill, and the pace really dropped. But heart rate, wasn't too absurd through all of it, but it was really hot, and it was really humid, and I was dehydrated. So it definitely felt like I was working a lot harder than these metrics would suggest. And my pace, like, my cadence turnover rate, it got down to, it's in the 160s, 170s, but most of it wasn't exactly high speed, high turnover, kind of slogging up that hill. But it was fun. By the time I got back down to the flat, kind of, finishing off the speedy stuff at the end, the turnover rate got up to about 170 or so for a little bit there as I was kind of booking it, finishing in. And then I took a 1 mile cool down. overall, though, that was a pretty good. I like that. It was a pretty good run. The next morning, when we got up, it was still fairly cool. I ended up not running until about 10 because the kid at Reno's and my sisters were getting packed up to leave early, and I was helping people break down tent camp and that kind of thing. So I was doing the family thing, and after everybody left, then I got my run in before we left. While my wife was looking for bugs in the stream, and I just did just an easy 4 miles. And again, it felt harder than it was. I mean, the heart rate was nice and low, but it just felt like a slog. And you can see here the pace is kind of reflecting that. And I'm assuming that's just because I got a little more beat up than I thought on the semi-dehydrated 7-mile progression run on a really big hill. Because log camping in Oklahoma was a lot of fun, despite all the rain. The trails there weren't super great for running on, so all my running was done on the road. But it was a lot of fun. I got a good workout in on Saturday. Not a long run, obviously, but it was still. I'm going to count it as a good quality workout because it was. I don't normally get a chance to run on hills that big, so it's definitely a new kind of stimulus. And then Saturday, a little bit of a recovery run in prior to driving home. And I think that drive home probably did me in more than anything because my right heel was super lit up this morning when I got up, and I know it's just because that calf was tight for being in that contracted position, pushing on the gas pedal, for 4 hours coming home. So overall, though, it was a pretty good week. I'm fairly happy with it, despite not getting in the pool or getting to the weight room last week. I think maybe some of the hill work will help mitigate the not getting to the weight room. But we're going to see if we can do a little better with that this week. This week, we got, Wednesday morning we'll have another track session. We're going to keep it real short and brief, though, just a couple of quick 200s. Just enough to kind of get some turnover up, see how we're feeling, get limbered up. Because Thursday morning, we've got the 5K that it was, the measurement that we're going to be doing at the end of this whole getting back into the swing of things training block. So we'll be at the Firecracker 5K in Shreveport on Thursday for July 4th. And I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to go. Hopefully the weather, I haven't looked at the weather yet, but hopefully it'll cooperate. And not be a bajillion degrees and 99% humidity. But either way, I'll be kind of curious to see how I do, especially just compared to last year. Last year I got 9th overall, I think it was 9th overall. So I'll be kind of curious to see how I finish place-wise, especially since obviously training looks a lot different post-Boston last year than this year, with a 2-week break and spending some time in the weight room and the pool this year. So hopefully, the mile, that bases, total base is starting to creep back up a little bit. We're starting to feel fit. So as long as we don't get too greedy, I think we'll have a good race. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can get next week's vlog, and we'll go over the race. That'll be kind of the big thing next week is the race report. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell your friends about it. We got the training vlog that goes up on Mondays. We got the demo talks that go up on Thursdays. And then every Friday, we got the blog post that goes up on the website. So make sure you follow along so you don't miss a thing. Till next week, train smart.